Welcome to Foundation Friday. The dedication and covenant of silent unity was signed on December 7th, 1892 by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, founders of the Unity movement. It is unlikely when they signed this covenant that they had any idea how far-reaching unity would be as it evolved into the church we know and love today. We invite you to join us as we explore and share some of the original ideas, teachings, and writings of the men and women who created the foundation of the Unity Church.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us today for Foundation Friday. Today, we are going to find out a little bit more about Cora Fillmore. Most of you know that Charles Fillmore was the co-founder of Unity with his wife, Myrtle Fillmore. Myrtle died before Charles did, and Charles actually took a second wife, Cora Diedrich Fillmore. And I've got her on screen so you can take a look at her picture. Now, I found this article on unity.org. Excuse me. If you want to look it up for yourself, I think you'll really enjoy it. But let's find out a little bit more about Cora Fillmore. Cora Diedrich was born December 15th, 1876, and was ordained a Unity minister in 1918 and married Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore in 1933. She contributed extensively to Unity thought with authored pieces. However, her diligent compilation of Charles Fillmore's private papers may be her most notable contribution to Unity history. Excuse me. Most of the handwritten letters, lecture notes, and even Charles' informal scribblings that are now organized and housed at the Unity Archives at Unity Village came from Cora Fillmore. It was these papers that Cora compiled Keep a Truculent and Atom Smashing Power of Mind, two of Charles Fillmore's most important literary contributions. Cora directed the Silent Unity program for a brief time, then became the private secretary for both Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. Cora held this responsibility until Myrtle's transition on October 6, 1931. She remained Charles' secretary, and they married 2 years later on New Year's Eve in the living room of Lowell Fillmore, Charles' eldest son, at Unity Farm. Charles was 79 years old and Cora was 57. The day after their wedding, Charles and Cora left on a lengthy nationwide speaking tour to lecture on Unity teachings. Throughout the long trip, she rarely left his side, watching over him each stop along the way. Cora, a strict vegetarian and nutritionalist, monitored Charles' diet based on her specific belief about what was best for the body, writes L.E. Meyer in A Vacation with the Fillmores, published in January 1973 issue of Unity magazine. She planned and prepared meals regularly, and Charles' only digressions were ice cream, fish, and Coca-Cola. In response, according to the article, Cora said, "We must satisfy the little boy in him." Cora made a special brew she preferred to serve instead of cola products. She called it alfalfa tea. She picked leaves from alfalfa plants and steeped them in water until just right before serving it. She took delight in seeing how other people reacted when they tasted it. I'm going to break here and say, I seriously want to try that. I hope I can find a recipe somewhere. Steeping them in water until just right isn't a really big recipe, but I digress. As the couple traveled around the country, they would invariably pass a farm field with a crop of alfalfa. Charles would stop the car, telling his driver that he wanted to let Cora out to graze a little while. Invariably, she returned to the car with her alfalfa leaves and a big smile. In 1937, Cora collected a series of Unity magazine articles written between 1925 and 1926 and compiled them under the title Following Jesus in Regeneration. Eventually, these writings reappeared under the title Christ Enthroned in Man. In 1939, she served on the faculty of Unity School of Christianity. In 1941, Charles and Cora co-authored Teach Us to Pray. The book focused on the attitude and process of prayer and included work that had not been previously published. It remained popular for decades. New Thought leader Blaine Mays described Cora as a woman of great integrity, dignity, and refinement. He and Cora became lifelong friends after Cora Fillmore offered to rent a room to him when he first came to Unity in 1951. She had love and respect for both Charles and Myrtle, Mays says. In a recent interview, Mays recalled that Cora was hesitant to marry Charles if it would create problems in the family. Only with assurances did she agree to marry him. During the 4 years he lived in Cora's home, Mays said he never heard her speak ill of anyone. Cora never set out to make a name for herself or gain notoriety, Mays said, but preferred to support her husband and always referred to him as Mr. Fillmore. They had been married 15 years when he made his transition on July 5th, 1948. Cora continued her work in organizing and editing Charles' unpublished papers. Having become interested in Unity in 1910, Cora Didrik Fillmore dedicated her entire adult life to Unity principles. After Charles' passing, Cora's health began to decline, slowing her rigorous work processing Charles' papers. For more than 2 years, the aging Cora Fillmore struggled with you can see it, maybe you can read it, arteriosclerosis. She transitioned at age 78 on January 29th, 1955. So that's a little bit more about Cora Fillmore. When I was at Unity Village in the archives, I was told Cora and Charles both worked on the Revealing Word and the Metaphysical Bible, the Metaphysical Bible book that Charles wrote. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed learning more about Cora Fillmore. Thank you for being with us for this Foundation Friday. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.